Oh, hello. Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. We would like to, again, apologize for last week. We did make sure that we posted it on this site as well as our other Facebook pages. Scott was not feeling well, and the health and well-being of our people always comes first. So, Scott, we're glad you're feeling better and you can be here tonight.
Yay, talking about our favorite subject. Ghost hunting, ghost hunting shows.
Ghost hunting shows, yes. This one was actually recommended, suggested to us by Jayson. Jayson is not with us yet. We're hoping he comes in, pops in, and joins because, like I said, he is the one who suggested this topic for a show. So we're hoping he gets the chance to pop one in. We'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Never know what's going to happen when you're live. Never know.
Man.
So, but Scott,
What?
you mentioned earlier that you had actually taken down some notes for tonight's discussion.
Some talking points basically. Just to start off with, when it got really popular is when back in 2004 with sci-fi ghost hunters, and they never thought be as successful they thought, and then now they're into 11 seasons. So after that, other shows start popping up all across different networks. And I'm not going to name them all. I just take all night. But
Yeah, because there's a lot of them.
and there's still some coming out now.
Yes.
If there is anything positive about it, is that there are many people that were afraid to come out with their issues involving the paranormal. And now with those shows, I think they might have felt a little more at ease coming out about it and getting help. But then you also have some who, I had some cases that were just attention seekers. Maybe they were a little, but for the most part, I think most people are, if they're looking for help, they're not going to, do that. But, and the reason I got into the paranormal investigation is, I never believed that every time that you go out, you get this awesome evidence. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
And over the years of investigating, I do believe in ghosts. I've witnessed stuff that I've seen, I've heard, been touched, all that stuff. I do believe that they are real. But not every investigation you get everything.
Yeah.
And I think that people, if they're going to get into this field, they have to realize that. Now, with the shows on TV, I mean, they're out there getting it basically for money, and they'll do anything to draw viewers. Even manipulating and falsifying evidence, I believe sometimes too.
Yes.
And then another thing, and the famous catchphrase. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm thinking, like, I can't hear shit over that background music you're playing. I can't hear anything over that.
Well, and I think what gets me about the whole the audio aspect of it sometimes is when I'm watching these shows, and this is just me, okay, this is my personal preference here, but when I'm watching these shows and they're playing like EVPs back, a lot of times they'll play it, but then like the second, third time, whatever, that they play it back, they're playing it back and they're giving you the words. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I can't name how many times I've been watching a show and they were reviewing an EVP and they put up on the TV, oh, this is what we're hearing. And I'm going, huh? I don't hear that at all.
Oh, like, I don't a lot of times.
Yeah. I think one of the best things to come out with paranormal research teams being on television is that it has now made this field more acknowledged. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, paranormal researching was still something that was like, you know, there were still so many people that did not want to believe it. But these research teams getting on television has really opened up that gateway to, I think, one, not only more people believing now, but like you were saying earlier, this has also opened the door for more teams to be able to have that opportunity. You know, what you do with it, well, you know, that's up to you. I know years ago, Travel Channel and A&E had actually emailed my team. And
ours too.
yeah. Well, see, like, I was super excited. I was excited. I mean, I was asked up about this. I was like, oh my God, like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime kind of like thing. So, you know, I waited until the next team meeting, you know, discussed it with everybody on the team. Like, you know, this is the proposition that, you know, we have been given kind of like thing. And then Bill and I took some time to discuss it just between, you know, the two of us. And it was one of those things where it's, you know, we talked about like the editing, and we talked about, well, you know, what do they do? How much do they control? And now I don't know if you had any communication back and forth. I had communication back and forth between producers from A&E and Travel Channel. And what really was like my, okay, no, I'm sorry, but we're turning down your offer, was the fact that when I had asked, you know, how much control do you have of the editing? And I was told by both A&E and Travel Channel that you take your footage, you turn it over to them, and it's theirs. I'm like, I don't fucking think so. No go. No go
well,
for me.
I got stories for you on that. Well, actually, Bill got it before with me and Don and discussed the same thing, and we said no because of the same reason.
Yeah.
Now, back when me and Don started with the group, I'm not going to name it because it wouldn't be right. Our first group that we joined, we are at a investigation. Oh hell, I think it was called Ship In. It's okay to say that place, I guess, with those guys. And like 2 years later, they ended up being on one of the ghost shows on TV. And I saw the episode, and I got a little upset when one of the things that they used as their evidence was with me and Donna.
Oh.
Uh-huh. And they said it was them who did that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because you hear me done talking back and forth about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't tip you about it and say, well, whatever. Yeah, it's over done with. That's the way they want to do it.
Well,
that's the way they do it.
Yeah, because at that point in time, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Unless you would have actually, excuse me, taken the time to actually reach out to the channel, the show, whatever that was broadcasting it, and being like, hey, like, we got some copyright issues here, mother, you know what? Like, you know what I mean? Because that may have been like your saving grace on it. But then, I mean, what do?
I never,
You know,
I would deal with that. As long as a lawyer or shit like that, I feel like do it like
yeah, because that's what they're going to expect you to do. And who has, I mean, just tens of thousands of dollars that you can just throw out there and give to a damn lawyer or an attorney to get your own evidence? You know what I mean? It's just,
right.
Hey, John, how are you? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean, it wasn't really right to do that, but it's okay. I mean, if that's the route they want to go, that's fine. To each person their own, I guess. I don't know.
Well, see, and that's why I like watching Like I got you watching the Vidi space, okay? I love the Vidi space because
I do too.
it is it okay, it's not going to a damn producer who is taking your stuff and editing it the way that they want to. You know, the ones who run Vidi space, they're running your raw footage. And that's my biggest issue with TV shows is because I was sought out by A&E and Travel Channel. I know what they do, and I think that's a bunch of mush. I think it's a bunch of BS. If my team is the one that is out there investigating these locations, it surely should not be a thing of, oh, okay, I give you all of our footage, my footage, and I never see it again until you air a show on TV that's half-assed. Like, this is not how it happened. So you wanna talk about now I'm not gonna mention the show. I'm not gonna mention the show. But I will say I have lost probably any respect and shits given that I had for this team years ago. But the one night there was nothing else on TV, and this research team had just so happened to be on, and I was like, okay, like screw it, yeah, it's entertainment too, so here we go, Teresa, why not? Funniest thing, and what I took notice to was, so they were in one area, and so they were at a place that was kind of like outside, but it had like different cabins and structures and stuff like that on, you know what I mean, in this highly kind of like wooded area.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I caught on to, and I sat there and I rewound it like 4 or 5 times because I'm like, nah, I did not just catch that. So they were going back through, and the one guy had, apparently got really spooked. He walked into a room, he saw an apparition standing there, and then they got this like amazing hit, as an EVP. And it was funny because what I took notice to, what I caught on, was when they were playing back the EVP, they weren't even in the same damn room anymore. They were not in the same location anymore. So this was an EVP that they had gotten from somewhere else. And they were now trying to pull it off as, oh my God, this had to have come from this apparition that so-and-so just saw. I'm like, no. That is not the same. That's not the same. The background isn't the same. That's not the same. And then I don't know. I don't know. Like, I have my own reasons for why I lost a lot of respect for that team. But when it comes to some of these other teams and stuff, like, I kind of beat myself up with, like, who do you really blame? Who do you really blame for that stuff? Is it the team? Or is it the producers? Is it the editors? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're egging them on too. If you want to be on TV, you got to give us something they want or what, or how you get it.
Yeah, I would not want my stuff chopped up and used for however they would want to use it. Like, I'm not down with that. I'm not. I do my best to make sure that we are putting out valuable, credible evidence, proof, whatever you want to call it, findings, whatever you want to call it, because it's, classified as many different things in this field. And I don't want to get a bad reputation on my team's name or myself or any of my team or my collaborating teams, because we would go on a TV show and our followers, our fans would take notice to the same shit that we've taken notice to.
Right. it's a constant too. Like I've watched shows already when they're going back to their EVP when I ask a question, they don't pick up on it. I hear it.
Yeah.
And I went to the Facebook page of this. I actually typed in, "Did anybody hear this?" It was the answer to that question is a child's voice to a direct question. They never picked it up.
Oh, no way.
The legit stuff they get, they don't see it or hear it.
Right. Well, you know, and how much do they do for the shock factor of it? You know what I mean? Like, okay, they're going through the EVPs and stuff like that, and you know, they're at this location that is known to have this let's just say this demonic, you know, the force, or you know, or spirit, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, and all of a sudden they get demon or devil or evil as like an EVP, and then it's like all of a sudden all the other EVPs are like, they just don't mean shit anymore. And now they're gonna focus on like this one thing. I don't know.
For a half an hour or something. And
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. It is a hell of an opportunity, but until one of these channels reaches out to me and they are willing to say that, no, you still own all of your footage, you're there through the editing process, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of my footage being manipulated and my team's name being tainted in any way because of the manipulation they do during the editing process. Like, and sometimes it's so obvious it's ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Like, it's beyond obvious.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. I know, I didn't hear shit. What are you talking about, man? Like,
no, how many times do you play it over? I hear a damn thing. Sorry. That's just like on all these different Facebook pages, pictures up there. Do you see it? Do you see it? I don't see anything. And it's like they want to circle it. If you have to circle something for somebody to see it or point an arrow, it's not there. It's not there.
Yeah, I'm better off with, okay, just plaster that picture on my TV screen for like 3 minutes and let me really examine it for myself. Like that kind of falls into the same kind of realm of things with the whole EVP when they put it up there with, you know, with what you're supposed to hear. Like, I don't want that. I don't like. I want to visualize it. I want to hear it for how I'm seeing it, for how I'm hearing it. Like, it's very frustrating.
That's a good idea, though. Why don't you go ahead and pay the fee 3 times, and people at home can write down what they think it is. And at the end of the show, say what they think it is. And then compare back and forth.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely ways of doing it. There's ways around it. I think it would be super, super cool for, and you know, Travel Channel is getting absolutely huge with the paranormal research teams, the shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. I will give that channel some hellish props, because my honest opinion is, if it would not be for the Travel Channel, this field would not be getting the exposure that it is. It wouldn't. So, you know, I give them props for taking this on and being like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to air it. We don't care how many skeptics are out there. You know, it's something that intrigues us in a whole, and, you know, and we're going to do it. What are you doing? Oh, what'd you do? Hold on. I'm going to change my little guy. Told you, anything goes, guys. Anything goes.
I like what she's saying. I mean, it's just, it's just so far-fetched. I mean, there are some shows, like, I still watch some of the shows and stuff, and, you know, I laugh a lot. But there are some shows that I'll still watch, just, you know, that I think are more legit than others.
Love you. Bye-bye.
I tell you, I am extremely jealous of some of these locations they get to go.
Oh, I know. Bless you. Slimy.
I love
Okay,
going to those places.
go to your room. Bye. Thank you, baby. Good boy. Yeah, and you know what? It makes me wonder, like, do they have to pay to go to these
No,
locations? Like, oh,
no.
I know. Like the one sanitarium that I would absolutely love to go to. I mean, I think it's like 1,200, 1,500, something like that for for a one night overnight investigation, and it's like, man, I mean, especially for our team, for our teams, like, we don't only have the investigation fee that we have to pay, but then we would all be paying expenses as well for our to travel too.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, man, like, somebody want to give me like a shit ton of money so that like we never have to worry about this again.
Oh,
I'll take it.
that's why I think right now we're concentrating on areas around us that
Yes.
they travel without problem. When you're traveling 4 or 5 states to get to a place, it's kind of hard to you know.
Yeah. And that is one thing that I would like, honestly, when it comes to the shows that we are seeing on TV and stuff. I would like more of them to focus some of their time on some of the not so infamous places. Like, they're going to very infamous places. But what about some of the places that a lot of people don't even hear about, a lot of people don't even know about, like,
Oh yeah.
get to those places, because I don't know, I just think, for me personally, I just think it's one of those things where once a place gets so much attention, so many investigations go into it, it changes the whole dynamics of it, because it now turns into your amateur, your mediocre, your on the path to being like big discovered paranormal research teams. They go into these places with a perception of what they expect because of what they have seen. And I know for my team, that is one thing that I weigh that very hard on all of you guys, is do not have any expectations. Don't. You know, I surely don't want to be
You know,
bummed out.
I never had expectations.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can. It just, I think it ends up putting you, okay, like the one time that we went to Selma, and a lot of things really weren't happening. Now, if we walked in at that time, even though we were already there and had amazing things happen, if we would have walked in there and had that expectation of exactly what happened last time is going to happen this time, we would have all been completely bummed out and probably had never gone back to that place again. But here we are in less than a month, coming up on our 4th time back. Like, I don't know, I think some of these shows end up building up like a lot of anticipation and expectations for other teams then when they go into it. And if you're really paying attention to the episodes, which, I mean, I do, I watch them like a hawk, and like I critique everything. I don't know how you are, but like I'm like, that's not right. That's not right.
You're,
Like,
you're,
I,
you're, you're using that device wrong. What the hell?
yeah, like I don't know. I critique everything, but that's what we do. We would not be the collaborating team that we are, had we not be like that. Critiquing and debunking is really what has made our teams where we're at now.
Yeah.
You know, we don't just take, I mean, look at our EVPs. How many do we?
You gotta be skeptical too. You in these places, you can't go say, "Oh my God, we're seeing ghosts tonight." More likely,
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. But we have been pretty lucky with our investigations. So, yeah.
yeah. I mean, you have to be very open-minded, but at the same time, yes, you have to have that level of being a skeptic. Or I don't think a lot of people realize how powerful the mind is. And if you're running through your mind, you know, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see something. You're going to end up seeing something. And it's probably nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a shadow person. Well, then you look to the left a little bit too quick and you see a shadow dart past like a doorway. Like, no, you didn't see anything. It's just you put that perception in your head for the last 2 hours, and you know, now you're seeing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like watching. I enjoy watching some of the shows that are on. Now, yes, I definitely have one very in particular, that the one I was talking about earlier, where I have just lost a lot of respect in a whole. And not even, and this is the sad part, it's not even for everybody who is on that team. It's just one person. And unfortunately, because of how that one person is, it is just, like, I can't even sit and enjoy watching that show anymore, even though I absolutely love the one other guy. Like, I can't get into it.
What they say, one spoiled apple ruins the bunch.
Yeah,
Eh?
now don't get me wrong. I think there are some really good ones. I think there are ones. Now I don't know how true it is, but apparently, the ghost hunter guys, Grant and Jayson, apparently, before they had started this journey, with doing the TV shows and everything, because you know now, like, Grant and Jayson are doing like their own shows.
Okay.
But if what I had read is true about those guys, I have to give them some hellish compliments, because apparently they would not sign up to do the ghost hunter show unless there were certain stipulations put in place when it came to like the editing and stuff like that. Don't know how true it is, don't mark my words on it, but I have read that in several different sources. So, you know, when you read something in a couple of different sources, it makes you a little bit more quicker to believe what you're reading. You know what I mean?
All right.
And I saw it in a couple of different sources. So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, yeah, you know, I give them hellish props for being like that and being like, no, you know, you're not going to take all of our shit. You don't own our footage. Like, you may own what you're airing on TV, but you don't own our shit. I commend them for that. I do.
Right. And another shows describe demon all the time. Demon is a demon. No.
Yes. Oh my God. Everything's a fucking demon. Like,
Yes, but there's good spirits and there's bad spirits, and they're always demons.
exactly. Yeah. With what we have experienced in this field in the umpteen how many years that we've been doing this, 9 chances out of 10, you are not dealing with anything demonic. You are just dealing with a negative, pissed
Very
off
angry
entity.
person.
Yes. You know, and I think what a lot of people tend to forget is, if we perceive this, if we are perceiving this right, okay, when you pass over how you were when you were still living is how you're going to be in the afterlife. You know, so if you were generally a pissed off, negative person, well, then in your afterlife, you're going to be a negative, pissed off person. Like, that doesn't mean it's a demonic entity or, it's just, no, he's a bit of an asshole or she's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been called names, MFer, some bitch, asshole, all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Get that a lot too. That one investigation back when I was with the old group, I remember I was back in the basement that all we got was this guy constantly swearing at us over and over again. They even called us the C word too. It's really bad.
Yeah, who'd you piss off, Scott?
I guess I was in his domain. Or it was back in his creepy basement. We went back inside. It had like a little hole back around the little entryway. Just back in the back. There was nothing there. It's just dirt cellar. It was creepy as fuck. It was really. I thought it was creepy. I don't creep out too easily to go to these places. I'll go out there south to the basement. I don't have any problem with that. That place was that just creeped me out. And then when I got to the DDPs that I'm like, oh boy.
I like the creepy places.
I do too.
I mean, that's one thing for me. I don't know. I think it almost kind of helps to kind of set the mood. Like, when you go into a place and okay, I see you. When you go into a place and it's all like, butterflies and unicorns and glitter. It's just I don't know. I like the creepy, dark places. Maybe it's just I'm weird like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like those kind of places, and I really like cemeteries. Like, that's something else. Like, I wish more of these damn shows on TV would actually go to more cemeteries, would go to more of like these abandoned places. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's becoming very repetitive. They're all going to the same locations. They're all, I don't know. I mean, give me something new. Give me something new. If you're going to be on my television, like, at least give me something new. Not the same damn thing all the time. And I think it's funny because, like we were talking about earlier, where you're watching some of these shows and something happens and you're just like, well, that ain't right, kind of thing. How do you feel? And I think this is a good one in general for anybody, honestly, who is in the paranormal field, the research field. But how do you feel about the thermals, the thermal gun, the thermal gauge, whatever you want to call it? And when they get a heat hit, oh my God, we got something.
It's a ghost. No.
Like, this is one thing that has baffled me time and time again, because you see the contradiction in some of these shows, and I guess that's where my mind kind of like, okay, because
yeah, and these people are paying
2 minutes ago,
they're paying a lot of money for those things. I'm like, oh God, what a waste of money.
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes ago, you guys are talking about how, it's believed that the reason that we get cold spots and everything else is because in order for them to manifest, in order to become an entity, they are drawing out all of the energy in that area, which is what makes that spot colder. But then you get something on the thermal cam and it's a heat hit, and oh my God, we just saw a ghost. Like, wait a second, I'm confused. You just said, and I'll tell you, 2 shows. The one in which I I don't care to watch anymore. And the other, now we were talking about them earlier, but I have seen it where they got like this full body apparition. You can see the legs moving, you can see the hands moving, you can see like the head turn. It's a heat signature, and not a difference in it getting colder. It's hotter than the surrounding. And I'm just going, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, man, I don't want to lose. I really don't want to lose any respect that I have. And then I guess that's where my mind goes back to thinking, okay, like, how much of this is them, and they really believe this? They're really willing to throw it out there as being evidence, proof, a finding, whatever. And how much of it may honestly just be like, oh yeah, like we got you, getting your other teammate 100 yards away, walking in the woods, and we're gonna use this as, oh my God, you guys got a hit. Like.
See, and that part scares me. You got all these people out here who are interested in getting into this, and they're watching this stuff, as the basis of how to do this stuff. They don't do the research online to see how each thing works or operates, or actually what that equipment actually does. It's not worth it to do what it's supposed to do, what they're claiming to do.
Yeah, it's not just. And, something that I will tell anybody going into this field, I'm interested in starting my own team. That's awesome. That's awesome. I commend you. But you know what? One, do your research. Do your research on any place that you're thinking about investigating. Thoroughly do your research. And secondly, you need to make sure that you know how to use the equipment that you are using properly, and you need to understand why and how it works. Because I don't care if you know how to use it. Oh, I push this button, it comes on. And look, it has all these pretty lights on it. If you don't know how it works, the whys around how that device works, you shouldn't be using it. You should not be using it. You need to know how it works.
Right. Like I started off, first thing I did some research around the area, and at that time, I think that's 11 years ago, 12 years ago. But when I was looking for a team in my area, I found a place and went to them. I did a couple of investigations with them. So I do like this, so they'll stick with it. But I suggest, before you buy any equipment, I don't care, if you're thinking, well, for watching these shows, you know what the hell you're doing, because you don't. Go with these teams, make sure they're reputable. Call around different ones. Right now, you can throw a dime, you'll hit one.
Yeah.
Call them up and see the next investigation is, and 9 times out of 10, it'll just take you along. But don't go out and buy the thermal. Go out and buy it. All you need is a good digital recorder. Get a camera you want on, and that's about it. If you want to do for your first time, don't spend a lot of money.
Well, I think, a lot of these shows, especially the ones who really want to they don't want to ruin their reputation. Okay, a lot of these shows, what they are now doing is saying that it is entertainment purposes only. I wish more people paid attention to that phrase. I really, really do. Like, all of these devices that we have that, that spit out, words and stuff like that. I don't want to say none of them work. I don't want to say they're all it's garbage. They're not reputable. They're not. But we know, because we've done our research with this crap, that how many of them are there where it is a word dictionary that is put in to this device, the program in the device, whatever the case is. There's a word dictionary that this device is using. Why, in theory, in order to use it, would there have to be a word dictionary programmed into that device? If it's working like an EVP does, like our recorders do, okay, then why can't it be like a voice? I don't want to say voice recognition, because fuck, if that was the case, like you'd never get anything. But you know what I mean? Like, why couldn't it be something where when it comes through, it recognizes the word that is being said, and then that's what comes up? Not this pre-programmed, anything that's pre-programmed. I've got some leniency on. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's to say that there's not something in that device where you know, kind of like your casinos and your slot machines, where it's, oh, okay, after so many pulls, after whatever, oh, jackpot, you know, and it spits your shit out for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good thing that some of these shows are smart enough to be like, you know, for entertainment purposes only. Because with a lot of them, that's kind of how I feel. Is it's more so entertainment than it is actually, you know, basing any real facts around it. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do when you're watching it on TV, and especially for us, I think more so for us, because we've been in that position where we've been sold out by like A&E and Travel Channel, and we know how they do things. So it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of tainted our perception of the rest of these shows.
Right. Now, of course, super true. I mean, it had to happen. We had to tell our side of the story.
One that I really do enjoy. I get down with it.
Paranormal 911.
Wow, I like that one too. But I absolutely love Amy and Steve from Dead Files. And I would love to know more about the workings of that show. I mean, do they really not have any communication beforehand? I'd love to know more. It's one of those things where I would actually love to know more about if there is some kind of misleading that goes on, or, you know, I don't want to say manipulation that goes on. It could just simply be, you know, a kind of like, you know, a misleading kind of thing. But I would absolutely love to know more. Now, see, the reason I like paranormal.
Me and Bill, me and interrupt you, but me and Bill went to a paranormal convention, and they were there, and we got to talk to both of them. But I was talking to Steve, that guy Steve, whatever his sound is, because he's funny as hell. He's all right.
I'm telling you, we need to go to a Paracon, man.
I got a picture with him.
Isn't there a Paracon in Ohio?
Yeah, the school was canceled this past year because of COVID. So. They have a line now.
Well, if they got something going on for 2021, like we need to get our tickets like now.
Yeah,
Like
well,
now.
I've
I
been
want to
looking.
go.
I've been looking. Believe me.
Yeah, I would love to go. I mean, and if it's in Ohio, I mean, hell, it's close for the both of us.
Well, me
So
and
makes it
um
better.
a year and a half ago, me and Madeline went to the thing is I'm out here, the Mansfield
Oh,
Reformatory.
yeah.
Went there for their paranormal convention, and we got there early, and we walked in the door. We decided to take our own walking tour. So I had my cane, and I went to hold the groups up. So we did
Yeah.
our own tour. We kind of went backwards, but anyways, there's 3 flights up, and then when we first got there, I was talking to the guy. He goes, Steve from Ghost Hunters downstairs right now, setting stuff up. And so as soon as
Dude, I
yeah,
bet he's a trip.
I was talking to him for like 15 minutes straight. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I got a picture of him too. So I'll share that one.
Yeah, I bet he is an absolute trip. Like he has one of those personalities. At least because sometimes people are not always as they are in life as what they put out on, a TV show. But he's one of those people where it's kind of like I bet he is an absolute trip. What?
Say who?
You don't want it? Okay, then go put it in the trash. I don't want your half-eaten pear. Thanks, but no thanks, Munchkin. Yeah, I can do without a half-eaten pear. Yeah, and I think that's why, especially once I was introduced to Vidi Space, and I went in, and it's kind of, I was like, all right, free trial. Why not? Let's give this a try. See if I like it. The more that I went in and the more that I was checking out like all of the different, shows and stuff like that on there.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon Prime is kind of, they've got some really good ones on there too, where it's not so much based on a big like franchise of a show, or it is real raw footage from investigations. You can tell like it hasn't been edited 10,001 times. Like I like watching stuff like that just because it's more raw. It's you get a better perception, in my opinion, with what's really happening during the investigation.
Right.
Oh, and I like the one that Osborne, that Jack Osborne does.
Oh, hold on.
What the hell is that called?
The first one we did was called Haunted Highway. He's been doing with his dad, I think, and his family.
Yes. Yeah, he's doing it with his dad and his mom and I guess his sister. So do you remember, this will kind of take you back a little bit. Do you remember, and I don't even know what the hell made me think about this earlier. Paranormal State.
Yeah.
You remember that show?
You used to watch it.
So did I. I will tell you, I was so disappointed when I found out like what Ryan had done and the big scam and and I think what really pissed me off the most about it was the fact that, okay, one, not only did you scam all of those people out of money thinking that they were going to a show, they were going to meet certain other, let's just say, celebrities in this field, because I know Chip Coffey, he came out publicly and was like, I had no parts of this. I did not know about this. because that was one of the people that he had used to sell these damn
A
show
lot.
tickets.
A lot, yeah.
So, like, I know he came out, he made a public statement about it. And I'm thinking to myself, so not only did you screw all these people out of their hard-earned money, but you also could have tarnished how many other people's reputation. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, so you got greedy. You got greedy. You wanted, you saw more dollar signs. And because of your own greed and your own selfishness, he was willing to take down how many other people with him. Like, ooh, like that still burns my ass to this day. Because I'm like, see, this is why, not all why, but it's a good reason why some of the groups in this field don't get the credibility and the acknowledgement that they should get, because shit like that happens, and then it filters through every other investigation team that's out there. It does. Yeah, that really upset me. I was very disappointed to find that out, because that was a group. Well, and thank God. Now I don't know what happened with two of them, but I mean, at least Katrina had rose above what Ryan had done, and she could move on. She could build her reputation. I think she's another one where she came out when it all came out in the open and was like, I had no parts of this. I had no parts of knowing what was going on.
Right.
So, because I like Katrina. I mean, I'm very glad that she had survived from that.
Chip Coffee was at that convention that me and Maddie went to at the Mansfield.
Yeah, I'd like to meet him. He's another one that I'd like to meet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of people that I would like to meet. I really do. But I definitely have certain ones who are kind of like top on my list. And I think what really sets certain ones aside from other ones is it is the reputation, I guess you could say, in which they really do hold. And some of them, it's how they have grown. It's how they have grown throughout the years, and where they started compared to where they're at now. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to see where some have started from and where they are now. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, the Paranormal State was another one that had demons and exorcism and that stuff like that. And I'm like, well. But.
Yeah, and I know the one. It was a girl. It was a younger girl where apparently, like, she had demons living in her. She was possessed. And I watched that episode. Now, I've actually seen that episode a couple of times, because after watching it the first time, I had to watch it again. Like, I had to watch it again. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm going, man, this is some horrible, horrible acting. I mean, horrible.
No. I think I saw that one. Oh, true.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I think the worst part about it is some of the episodes in where they had tried to say that, oh, this is what's going on, Ryan brought in this very credible person, and it's like, I cannot believe you just wasted that person's time. Like, And I think what's really mind-blowing about it is, like, some of the people that he had brought in, you could tell they were agitated. You could tell they were very annoyed, but they tried to go about it in a nice way with, just, I don't think there's anything here. I don't think, when you're bringing in very credible people like that to an investigation, and these are the claims that you are, you're throwing out. Here's my thing. You better have some findings. You better have some evidence. You better have some proof to already prove that this shit is really happening. And this isn't the first time that you've gone into this place and you have no idea what's going on. Like, okay, because that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. I don't know. Yeah, things like that bother me. Just bothers me.
No,
I mean, they could be helping somebody else.
Wait till they come beyond me right now.
Yeah, and I think
they're out there, so
the longer I'm in this, the longer I'm doing this, I definitely do think the more judgmental that I have become with some of the shows, the more I critique, absolutely, positively, the more I critique. And like what we were discussing about earlier, I'm very quick to actually change the channel now. If I can tell it is absolutely positively something where they are trying to put a perception into their viewer's head. I see that going on, like when they replay some of the EVPs, okay? And it's not just the word, they throw this word up there and, oh my God, this is what, it's saying. But when they do it, like, they got to loop this shit 10 times in a row to make us believe that's what it's really saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, okay, I'm done. I'm changing the channel. Like,
it's like subliminal.
yes, absolutely. That's exactly what the hell it is. And apparently, that's in everything we watch and listen to, and
yeah,
y'all, there's a message hidden in this live. Did you get it? No, we're not big and fancy like that and can do that kind of stuff.
No.
I don't know. Bill might be able to. Jayson might be able to, but homegirl here sure in the hell can't.
Yeah. Just give me a tape recorder, a flashlight, my cane. I need that. And let me go.
Yeah. Yeah. Do not forget your cane, because I ain't carrying your ass up a flight of steps, man. I mean, we might be able to tag team it.
Last verification to help me out, though. So
I think, like you've said several times, is sometimes the very basic fundamentals in researching in this field are literally the best pieces of equipment, device you can really have, you can really use. Like, one thing that I have noticed, especially in the last, let's just say 5 years of all of this, is it almost seems like the more we advance in technology in this field, the more fancy, let's just say, equipment that comes out, it's actually making more people very much so more skeptical, because it's very hard for people, average people, who don't know the devices, how they work, whatever. It's for the viewers and stuff like that. It's hard for them to be watching this shit and be like, I don't get it. How is this working? How does this piece of equipment detect a spirit, a ghost, you know, an entity. How is this fancy piece of equipment doing this? And I get it. I mean, I understand where people are coming from. I mean, hands down, I get it, because sometimes I ask the same questions. But yet, if you go back to the very basic, very essential, as we like to call them, they are our essential devices or pieces of equipment. You know, there's not a lot of room for a lot of question or a lot of, you know, skepticism behind it. It is what it is. You know how it works. You know, like, unless I've got somebody off screen whispering into a, you know, a recorder, there's no way of me faking a voice coming through a digital recorder. You know, unless I am doing something to fraud, to, you know what I mean, to fraud that. You know, kind of the same thing with a regular standard video camera, you know, with night vision or without night vision. Unless I personally do something to manipulate something, there's no way of bullshitting it. And if you can't see, you know, if you see a shadow go by, but yet there's how many other recorders set up in all of the rooms that we're in, and this person can be accounted for, and this person, and everybody can be accounted for. Well, then it's not like I can burn that image into that video while it's, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, now when you're editing and shit, yeah, you can do stuff. But we can't do that when we're allowing our audience, our fans, our followers to see live feeds of things. And, you know, we can't manipulate that. You can't manipulate that. You know, not like that. You can't. I mean, yeah, you can easily and manipulate like an EVP, but there again, if you're in one room, if you've got everybody who is there in sight of a camera, of a video camera, it's a little hard to manipulate something.
You know what a whisk they go on your hand are? With the green and blue whisk that the bugs don't come at you? Because I'm gonna play like Call of Duty Shirt Wars. You know where they're at?
You're not wasting those things.
Just one.
No.
I'll put that in.
No, they're bug repellent bands. No, you're not using them to play G.I. Joe, man. No.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Out of my room. Out of my room.
Get.
Gone. Look at bad self.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, welcome to the crazy house, y'all. So yeah, I mean, I know we just kind of passed that 1 hour mark. It sucks. Jayson couldn't join us. I know, like I said, this was his topic. He's the one who wanted to discuss it. This may be a part 2, guys. Honestly, it may be a part 2. Just because if we can get Jayson involved in this conversation too, I think the reason he suggested it was because, you know, he's got some things to say. So it definitely would be very interesting to see what he has to say about it. You know, if we do a part 2, I think that would also be a really good opportunity, maybe to invite some of our viewers in for maybe just audio and have them, you know, join in the conversation and, you know, their thoughts and that kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of interesting to really hear it firsthand from, you know, our viewers too.
I think we're scheduled for next Tuesday, 22nd.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it would have to be. Oh, man, I got so much rapping to do. I haven't even started yet.
You could be rapping like Snoop Dogg the dog.
I just throw them in bags. There you go.
Can I have a gumball?
No, you can't have a gumball.
Why?
Because it's like 10 o'clock. You can't have a gumball.
I want gumball.
Excuse me?
Please.
You want more season on that?
Would you, do you belong in here right now? You're going to find yourself in timeout real fast because you're not listening to the rules. I already told you no. I gave you your answer. Don't push it. Ta-da! Yeah, so
We call
I
it
don't know. I mean,
next week part 2 if you want to. That's fine.
I mean, I think this is definitely it's one of those topics where a lot of people have a lot of different opinions. You know what I mean? And maybe we'll even have to find maybe we'll even have to reach out to some of our sources and our friends and stuff like that. And and see if we can get like a guest speaker or two to come on in and give us their thoughts and opinions on this, because I think this is a topic where it's not like we're the only ones who have opinions on this topic. I would like to hear where people that are in the paranormal community, I would like to hear where they stand with this topic. And I would also like to hear where, just the viewers, where they stand on this topic too. I mean, do they believe everything that they see on TV shows, or have they seen something maybe already where it was like, I caught your ass, like that's fake kind of, I would we don't throw names out there because we like to be very respectful of everybody in the paranormal community. That's how we roll. That's how we do things. I mean, but if we've got guest speakers, or if we've got fans, followers who just watch the shows, they might be willing to blurt it on out there. And I would definitely love to see where more people stand with this topic. And like I said, I do think Jayson has some things to say too. So, it would be nice to hear what Jayson had to say as well.
Right. Okay. Sounds like your plan.
All right. Sweetness. All right, y'all. So I think we are going to wrap up tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you were joining us, and as all of you should know by now, you're always more than welcome to go back and watch the replay. If you have any questions for us, if you have any requests for us, you can message any of our pages. The easiest one would be this page, the Paranormal Gateway ParaTalk page. But you can also reach out to us individually. You can reach out to our team pages at Paranormal Truth Seekers, or Scott's page. Scott, if you want to throw out your information really quick before we go.
Yeah, I'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
I'll put it in there.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of people reaching out to my personal Facebook page. Which, hey, I'm more than welcome to accept new friend requests, especially if you are somebody who likes to follow the paranormal community. I mean, that is what a good bit of my friends are on Facebook. It's it's people I know personally, and it's people that are in the paranormal community. So, but yes, we have many ways that you can reach out to us with any request or any questions. If you're experiencing any paranormal activity in your home, in your workplace, and you would like some help there, again, you're more than welcome. Do not hesitate to reach out to us. That is what we are here for. And we will do our best to find anything out for you. So, yeah. enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you again on the 22nd of this month. Bye.
Happy hunting.